Children, welcome back to English class. So children, actually in our last session we have finished C reading from second unit, right? So with that we totally finished 2 units in our textbook. Okay, so actually today I have to start third unit, but I think you have an idea, children. So as per the state government, 2 units like they have been removed. You need not to prepare, only projects works will be given from 2 units. So third unit and fourth unit you need not to prepare, children. So I'll give project works from those units. Okay children, understood? So third and fourth unit you need not to prepare. So in today's session we'll start fifth unit. Not only that, children, even at the end of this session today, I'll give you FA1 project details. Okay, so make a note and try to finish your project as early as possible. Okay, so we start our fifth unit today, children. So what is our fifth unit? It is education and career. Okay, so career, education and career. Okay, and in that today we'll discuss a reading, that is the treasure within. The treasure within. First let us discuss about the unit name, education and career. So you know about education, right? So what is meant by education? Education means it's going to be your qualification. So in your future coming days, what do you want to become? Based upon that, your degree will be there. So if you want to become doctor, so your degree, it's like MBBS. Or if you want to be an engineer, so it will be like BTech. Again, different kinds of streams will be there. So like that, so BA, BCom. In 7th class, we have learned abbreviations, right? So BA, BCom, MA, MCom, MSc, PhD, MS, MBBS, MCA, MBA. So many courses are there. So depends upon your goal, your aim, so your interest, so which course you are going to take. Apart from this, even so many courses are there. You can go for fashion designing or hotel management, like that. So many courses are there. So that's going to be your education, your qualification. Based upon that, you all get good jobs and will be settled in highest position. So that's called as education. Am I clear, children? So 8th class children, in our 7th class and 6th class, you have shared about your aims and goals with us, right? So many of you wanted to become doctors, engineers, even professors, lecturers, business persons. Some of the members are told like politicians, no? Like that. You said that, right? So children, did you remember or not? So are you working on that or not? It's very important to work on that. So if you really want to become something in your mind, it's not sufficient to have the goals, children. You have to focus on that. You have to work on that. So try to like stick to one thing from now onwards. Still, if you don't have any particular goal, at least still so much of time is there. So decide something, think about something, think about yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What is your interest? What do you want to become? What can you do really? So focus on that, and then think about, try to learn. So you have the wonderful thing in your hand, internet, search about that. Okay, so collect the details. That means after completion of 10th class, exactly which course you have to take, and in that also choose the college. Try to join the best colleges. Try to get the good education. Okay, so how it will be possible? Search about that. Okay, so try to make the path. Okay, so just if you have the good path, then easily you can achieve, or you can reach your destination. Then you can easily achieve success. Okay, so just think about the children. It's very important. So what do you want to become in your life? First decide that, then try to know or collect more details about that. Obviously you have wonderful support from your parents, so they are going to support in all the cases. they are ready to face the consequences, so you can go forward with very confidence, right children? So even that's going to be your career. So what you want to become, that's called as career. So in this particular unit, we are going to see some examples. Here actually children, if you take A reading and B reading, both like refers to the same lesson. That means one lesson is divided into two parts. So what I said, A reading, that is treasure within, right? The treasure within. So this is A reading, even B reading also same. Part 1, part 2. So this is the treasure within part 1, and next reading is going to be like the treasure within part 2. Understood children? So in all the units we have to we'll see some real-time examples children. So some great persons who achieved a success in their life. So how was their childhood? How they tried to reach their goal, we are going to see in this lesson. And anyway, before going to start the lesson, just let's see the face sheet of this unit children. So open your textbooks, open page number 17. So face sheet details are there. Let us see what are those. So if you check this one, this is called as face sheet. Okay. So some pictures are given there, right children? So observe and tell me their names. You know all the names. Okay, who are they? First one is, who is that? Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. So just we celebrate every year September 5th as Teachers Day, right? So that is just because of him, who also worked as a former President of India. Next one, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, so who is very famous. Even he also worked as the President of India. Very great scientist. We all know about his inventions. I think and I hope so many of you are taking him as an inspiration. Am I right children? So many people, young scientists, young people, youth, even though he was died, still we are remembering him and we are taking him as role model in our life. That much great he is. So try to be like that children. So if you really want to do that, you can do that. Okay. Third one, it's like Moksha Gundam Vishweshwaraya. So in our school, we have 60 class, two section names, right? First one is Kalam and second one is Vishweshwaraya. So these two persons. So Vishweshwaraya also a very famous scientist. Understood children? First one Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. Second one Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Third one Moksha Gundam Vishweshwaraya. And fourth one Saina Nehwal. Okay, I think you know her as well. Okay, she is a badminton player. She belongs to Hyderabad. Okay, so all these are very great people. So different fields. They belongs to different fields, right? First one, of course, we can say he is a teacher, right? Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. So teaching and like a scientist. That means related to the field of science and sports. So these are like some great or famous personalities who achieved great success in their lives. Okay, now let us see the questions. First one, identify the persons in the pictures. So we already did that one. Second one, which field does each of them belong to? Even second question also we discussed. Third one, would you like to be like any one of them? So this is up to you children. So you can write your own opinion. Really, if you want to be like that, write yes. No means right? No. If yes, name the field you like. So really, if you want to become like any one of them, then write yes and also mention the reason. Write the name of the field as well. That means you want to become sports person or scientist, doctor, teacher, or whatever it is. So in which field are you going to take take as your career? About that you have to write. Understood children? So today's homework children, write answers for these three questions in your homework book. Not only that, even there is one oral discourse children. So this one we can't do it, right, as we are not in school, but you can write this one as an essay. Okay, so the topic is like ambition of your life. So it's very easy, I think. So you know about your ambition, you know about your aim. So write about that one. Just write a small paragraph about your ambition in your life. Understood, children? So write answers for these three questions and of course essay on ambition of your life. That's going to be today's homework. Okay, so coming to the lesson, page number 71. The treasure within. What is meant by treasure, children? First of all, tell me. Treasure means what? I think you know the game, treasure hunt, right? So what is that? What we do in that game? So in that game, some treasure. Treasure means like some precious things. Okay. So maybe in that game, some gifts or some valuable things that will be like hidden somewhere in some places. So you have to find out that one. So that's called as treasure. Some clues will be given, right? Okay. Not only that, if you see or watch previous movies, you will be able to know about these treasures. If you read the stories of kings and all, so you will be able to know about the treasures, because at the time people, kings especially, they used to have a lot of jewelry, money and all. They used to hide that amount or money in some secret places. Okay, or whatever the money the king or emperor they used to have in their courts, even that is also called as treasure, right? See here, children, but in this lesson we are not going to talk about any one of that treasure. We are not talking about any money, gold, jewelry or valuable things. Then what it is about? So what it is about, the title is like the treasure within. So here the treasure means, within means, here we are talking about our talent. We are talking about talent. See, children, each and every person definitely will have some kind of talent. Yes, children, really, God bless us with talent. What the only thing is, we have to identify that. We should know our strength. That's what I said. Think about yourself. So what can you do? What's your specialty? Try to know about that. Okay, so every person must, or is really everyone will have one talent. They can do something. They can paint very well, dance very well, or sing. They can like that, cooking, whatever it is. Okay, or some people they can study well, like that. One special, unique quality, it like really it presents in each and every person, children. So here we are talking about that treasure. So that will be inside of us. We have to take it out. We have to present in front of the people. We have to show our talent. Then only we'll get success in our life. About that we are talking in our today's lesson, children. Okay, so shall we start the lesson? Yes, and coming to this lesson, children, this is in the form of interview. So this is in the form of interview, children. This lesson is in the form of interview. I think you have an idea about interview, children. So generally interviews means we watch in televisions, right? Or else sometimes even we can read in any magazines like weekly books, or even in some cases we can observe in newspapers as well, right, children? So do one thing, as you are staying at home itself, try to watch some interviews. Take the help of internet, or watch news channels. If you have any books, you can read those books as well. Okay, so interviews will be taken of the persons who are having some special talent, who are famous, who are very popular, like those personalities. Interviews will be taken generally, right? Like if you take actors, politicians, sports person, scientists, doctors, like that. Some great persons who are very popular, famous, or who achieved something in their lives, okay, who got success in their life, generally their interviews will be taken, and those interviews will be telecasted in the news channels, or that will be published in the newspapers, right, children? What is the necessity why those persons interviews will be taken? Because Even, see children, here I would like to mention one thing. Achieving success is definitely not an easy thing. And one more thing, without failures, we can't expect success. In the absence of failures, we can't get success. We have to overcome that failures, then only will get success. So if you take the story of any great person, they also failed so many times in their lives, but they know how to overcome that. So by overcoming that, they got the success. So if you are going to know about the life stories of those great persons, definitely will be able to learn some new things, will get some kind of inspiration, will become more courageous. And if we face same kind of problems in our life, will be able to solve or overcome that. So that is the purpose behind that. So the present lesson is also in the form of interview. So interview means obviously two persons will be there, right? One is interviewer, that means who takes interview. Another person, obviously the famous personality. So here two persons, who are they? First person is Hafiz contractor. So he is the famous person in our lesson today. Okay, so Hafiz is a well-known contractor. That means he is an architect, children. So he is an engineer. He is an architect. Very popular, very famous. So his name is Hafiz actually. His name is Hafiz. Usually he is called as Hafiz contractor. Understood, children? So this lesson is about the life story of Hafiz. This lesson is about the life story of Hafiz. He is usually called as Hafiz contractor. In the lesson, that's why it is given like HC. HC means Hafiz contractor. H means Hafiz, C means contractor. So he is an engineer. Like the particular field is architecture. He is an architect. Architect means who like who designs for the buildings. Okay. Next. So interviewer. Who is interviewer? Who is taking interview? That person's name is Bela Raja. Bela Raja. So that is represented as BR. Okay. And actually editor of the paper. Bela Raja is the editor of the paper. So just I'll read, then you will be able to understand clearly. Okay. So page number 71. Let us see the first paragraph. Read the following interview. It is based on a conversation between Miss Bela Raja, BR, editor of Splash, a newsletter from the Resource Center, the Valley School, Bangalore, and Mr. Hafiz contractor, HC, one of India's leading architects. So this lesson has been taken from the interview between Hafiz contractor and Bela Raja. Hafiz contractor is one of the India's leading architects. So he is one of the India's leading architects. And coming to Bela Raja, she is the editor of Splash, a newsletter from the Resource Center, the Valley School, Bangalore. So the Valley School, Bangalore, she belongs to that, and she is the editor of that newsletter. She was taking interview of Hafiz contractor. Okay, so as I told you, there are two parts. We'll see today part 1. Okay, so even interview also, children, it will be in the form of conversation. So you know about conversations. You have written so many conversations, right? So interview also, it's like a conversation. Later, after finishing of these two lessons, we'll discuss this discourse writing in detail, children. Okay, just observe the pattern here. So first one, HC. HC means what I said, Hafiz contractor. So what he said, let us see. So Hafiz contractor, he said, I used to have this terrible nightmare. Only now, over the last 4 to 5 years, it seemed to have disappeared. Okay, so Hafiz contractor was describing about his childhood. So what he said, he used to have one terrible nightmare. Nightmare means what? Nightmare means frightening dream. Nightmare means frightening dream. So generally sometimes even we also get nightmares, right? Sometimes if we see any horror movies, any ghost or devils movies, night time generally we get nightmares. Or if we are in tense, if we are tensed, if you are fearing about anything, generally we get nightmares. So in his childhood also frequently he used to get nightmares. About what actually? Okay, that we don't know. Later we'll discuss about that. And what he said just now only, in my childhood I used to get nightmare every day, but just now, that means if you take the last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. Okay, but if you take just last 4 to 5 years, those nightmares are disappeared. I'm not getting any kind of nightmares now, but in my childhood regularly I used to get nightmares. That was said by Hafiz contractor. Next, BR means Balaraja. What she said? What nightmare are you talking about, and why do you think it has disappeared now? So she don't know, right, about what he was talking. That's why she asked like, what was that? Which nightmare you were talking about, and why that was disappeared now? Okay, so what was the response from Hafiz contractor? We'll see in the next class. See children, now I'll write the project details on the board, make a note and finish your FE1 project. Okay. Okay children, I have written project name here. Okay, so first project is going to be like write about joint family and nuclear family. So this is from first unit, right children? Okay, so just collect information about a joint family and nuclear family. You have to paste the pictures as well. So write the definition, what is meant by joint family and what is meant by nuclear family, and write about that. That means here you have to cover advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of living in joint family? At the same time, write about the advantages and disadvantages in living in nuclear family. See children, maintain your project book very neatly. Use crayons. Okay, make it colorful, very attractive. Okay, paste it and write very neatly. Okay, so do it children. By day after tomorrow you have to finish this project. Okay children, in next class we'll continue the lesson, the treasure within. Okay, thank you.